All right, here we are again, part 2 of how I healed cervical dysplasia and HPV in 3 months. On this particular video, I'm going to give you the protocol that I took in order to make that happen. And I gathered this information through doing a ton of research online, finding other women out there who did something similar. And also some of this information comes from a naturopathic doctor, and I actually found her after I had researched all this other information, and it was nice to find her because it was just a confirmation for the protocol that I was taking a plunge into. And her name, if you are interested, is Dr. Doni, Doni. You can find her online, and she works with women specifically on HPV. I did not work with her, but I watched some of her free videos, which were informative and helpful. So first I just want to talk about what makes a woman susceptible to HPV. And there's a few things, there's a few factors. One of them is stress. Stress is huge. And it's not just with HPV. Stress can initiate many viruses in the body and create a lot of dis-ease in the body. For HPV specifically, cigarettes is a huge risk factor. Birth control pills or hormonal IUDs, they deplete the body of B vitamins. Hormonal imbalances is another one. So some of the supplements I'm going to show you are amazing for balancing hormones to the point where I almost have no PMS symptoms anymore. Another is nutritional deficiencies, inflammation within the body, especially in the gut. And also this gene mutation called MTHFR. And if you have this particular mutation, it makes it so your body can't absorb B vitamins and folate as it should. And I don't know if I have this mutation. I didn't investigate further. I just instead made sure I got a B vitamin that I knew was absorbable. Okay. So from there, what doctors don't tell you about HPV or cervical dysplasia is, believe it or not, your cervix can grow new healthy cells. And I read a statistic where they can grow new cells every 7 to 10 days. Another thing doctors don't tell you is you can support your immune system to fend off HPV even if you're re-exposed. And there are alternatives to LEAP. One procedure, which I did not do, but it's called escharotics. And this is usually for high-grade cervical dysplasia, CIN2 or more. And that's just an herbal nutrient treatment that a trained practitioner puts on the cervix over an extended period of time. And those escharotic treatments have had amazing results for a lot of women. So now to go into the protocol a bit. The most important themes of this protocol is your mindset, the food you eat, the nutrients and herbs that you take each day, your gut health, and also your stress recovery. And so for me, meditation was huge. And I've always had a meditation practice, at least for the past 4 years, I would say. But this particular thing that happened to me made it so that I really created a really strong meditation practice. And I did a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations, if you've heard of him. He is absolutely amazing. This one book of his that I highly recommend, it's called Becoming Supernatural. And basically his meditations are all about seeing and feeling yourself in an experience before it actually occurs. So having such a strong emotion about a particular intention to the point where your body thinks that it's experiencing that now. And that is so potent for healing, creating, all sorts of things. Life changer for sure. So meditation, huge. Along with meditation is your reduction in stress. Also makes your daily life more fluid, more flowing, less resistance to everyday things. Another huge one, and this happened right away when I was told that I was going to have to get a LEEP procedure, was releasing negative thoughts and beliefs that a doctor instilled in my mind, how she told me there was no other way and that I was basically doomed, and she told me I had a disease and that I was unlucky. And I just knew that when she said that, like, this just isn't right, and this isn't somebody that I need to take their word and engrave it on my soul, so I released that doctor's affirmation for myself and created my own. And really what it comes down to is empowering yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself. You are perfect and whole as you are, and that is true and real connection. And from that place, I really do believe you can do anything, accomplish anything. And so next, for this protocol, a huge portion of it is the food that you eat. Food is medicine. For me, I took an all organic approach, which I have done for many years. So organic food, but I really cleaned things up a bit. I really put all processed things to the wayside. So like I used to really like to indulge in French fries often, once, twice a week. Like vegan mac and cheese in a box, chips, things like that. So eliminated all that and just kind of stuck to produce, whole grains. Some people forego the grains, but I did have grains. And yeah, just lots of vegetables, some fruit, depending on what I felt. You kind of have to feel out some of this. For instance, I have never been drawn to bell peppers. I have an aversion towards them. And I believe I have this aversion because for me, maybe they're not as beneficial as they are for somebody else. Maybe for me, they're actually more, cause more damage than good. So I just don't eat them. So you kind of have to feel those kind of things out. So yeah, every time I cooked, I would always chop up a bunch of turmeric, ginger, onions, garlic, and have that almost in every meal. Lots of bone broth, soups, and this was kind of in the winter, so that was easier to do. And eggs, organic eggs. I ate gluten-free, dairy-free. The only meat I ate was chicken and fish, and every other day I would juice. At nighttime I would have Tulsi tea because Tulsi is an adaptogen, so it really helps your body and your brain to relax, especially in stressful situations. Your stress response to soften is much quicker and it doesn't carry on for an extended period of time. And now the good part is the supplements. Now, this might be a little intimidating, but please do not allow it to be intimidating. Once you have all the supplements you need, you have the list of supplements you need, you just order them. Yeah, it's going to cost maybe a couple $100, maybe less. And then you might have to get at least 3 or 4 refills. Whatever, it's okay. Just think of the soul investment you're making on your body, on your well-being, on your life. And this is, in the long run, this is actually more affordable than the other options that could occur. So we will begin with, I'd say this is number 1. And I didn't actually start taking this till about halfway through. This is Ahcc. This is mostly shiitake mushrooms, but it's a very, very large dosage of shiitake mushrooms. You can't really get it any other way. Pretty expensive stuff, and I probably went through, I think this is my 3rd bottle, but I've already tested negative for HPV, but I'm still continuing to finish out this bottle. Next, very important, is turmeric. I dabbled with a few different brands. This one I like because it is fermented, so it makes the digestive process a little more easier, and maybe you can absorb more than you would if it wasn't fermented. But this is amazing for clearing up any inflammation in your body. Inflammation is huge. You want to try to get the body rid of all inflammation as possible. Next one's super important. Hannah Banana, another chick on YouTube who healed her cervical dysplasia and HPV. She highly recommended this. Beta-glucan. This is also mushroom derived. This particular one is algae. Just like a really pure form of algae. And this has been known to reduce tumor proliferation, and it also enhances your natural killer cell function. So that every day. And I would take all these in the morning on an empty stomach. Next one is, I went with the Bulletproof brand, Zinc with copper. I never had taken zinc or copper in my entire life, and maybe that played a role in my weakened immune system at the time. I like this particular brand because the ratio of zinc and copper it's really on par, because if you have one without the other, you can create a lot of depletion within the body and things can get a little out of whack. So this, I don't know if I will take this every day now. I might give it a break here soon. This one is my favorite, Dim. I noticed so much change from this within my hormones and around my cycle. And so what this basically is it's broccoli seed extract, and then this also has vitamin C and vitamin E in it, and it balances your hormones. And I started taking this right away when I was first told I had HPV, and I used to have pretty bad cramping and really emotional periods, and ever since I started taking this, game changer. It did give me a headache the first couple days I was taking it, but I think it was just detoxing and balancing out my estrogen levels. That one's huge. Next, oh, I love this one. We have Turkey Tail. Turkey Tail by Host Defense. This is like the Ferrari of brands for mushrooms. This is Paul Stamets' line. Turkey Tail, there's just so much research out there on how it's like cleared cancer cells and again initiates the killer cell response in the body, white blood cell response, and there's a little video out there on YouTube. It's maybe 8 minutes long about Paul Stamets' experience with this with his mother. His mother was like 85. She got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. They didn't want to do any radiation on her because it would just, potentially kill her. So he had her take, I think, about 8 capsules a day for maybe 6 months. You'll have to watch the video to get that timing right. And she went back for her checkup and she was clear. Amazing. Next is vitamins A, D, K. Oftentimes we're malnourished of these particular vitamins and they do a lot for us. I will keep taking this, and I will keep also taking the Turkey Tail. But I just like this brand because it's pretty good, and it has 180 capsules in there. You take 1 a day, and this is Code Age. Next, omegas, so important for inflammation. This is just kind of a more generic brand, Wild Alaskan Salmon Oil. When I first started taking the fish oil, I was taking kind of a fancier brand that had additional vitamin D3 in it. And vitamin D is a huge beneficial vitamin for women's health, women's hormones. And so I took 3 of these a day, just a really high dosage. I will continue to take these because I notice my brain is sharper, my body doesn't hurt really much at all. Sometimes it does, but not too much. And then next, this is something I actually just started taking this month, but I wanted to throw it on this video because I think it's also another amazing supplement. And again, by Host Defense, it's a woman's blend for hormone support, and it has turkey tail, shatavari, broccoli sprouts, so like the dim, reishi, maitake, mesama, and chasteberry. Chasteberry and shatavari are two herbs for balancing women's hormones, and then those other mushrooms, they all play a part in it as well. So this stuff, amazing, especially if you have like strong PMS symptoms, and it also has all those mushrooms in it for the health of your immune system. Okay, so there we have those. Now, I want to run through these other ones, these 5 other supplements I was taking, and the reason I've separated them is because you could actually buy one supplement that would have all these things in it. And so just to go through real quick, we have vitamin E, vitamin C, selenium, astragalus, great for the immune system, and then this is the B vitamin I was taking. I almost would say get the B on its own. I like this particular brand. It's chewable, so I know it's being absorbed properly. I got this on Amazon. But now, I don't have the actual supplement I'm talking about, but the supplement that has the astragalus, the E, the C, the selenium, and the B vitamin, it's called Papillex. Papillex. You can find it on Amazon, and that has all those in it, including broccoli sprouts and lycopene and carotenoids. The thing I've been taking for a long time, one more thing I want to just add in, you don't have to take this, but if you do have gut issues, which I think a lot of women do, I mean, especially growing up in the United States, a lot of food has been tampered with over the years, over the decades, like with pesticides and, you know, that whole thing. So this is an Ayurvedic herb. It's used in Ayurvedic medicine. It's called Triphala. And what it does is it supports the GI tract. And it cleanses, tonifies, revitalizes the tissues of the entire GI tract, setting the stage for better digestion and regular elimination to help you feel better. I noticed when I started taking this, probably a year and a half ago now, like right away, to be frank, my bowel movements were so different in a good way. So this. Also, I would take a probiotic. I'm going to let you explore that world on your own. So there you have it. Those are the supplements. It's a lot to take all at once. Like I said, I took them all in the morning on an empty stomach. And if you're like, how on earth do you take 20 pills a day? You know, I would just take my time in the morning. I would set them out in a little pile. I'd walk over, I'd take some with water, give it a minute, do something, go back, take a little more, or bring them with me over to my desk. Like, don't let it intimidate you. Just integrate it as part of your routine, and just know, like, as you're taking it, like how much nutrients you're giving your body, how much healing's going on as you take these supplements and herbs. And so I guess just lastly, just a few things that I personally do for stress recovery, or really just like not having stress in my life at all, which of course can be difficult. But I mean, if you can get to the point where maybe you know, have a percentage of like 10% stress in your life, but the rest of the 90% is just like calm and cool and you feel good, I think that's a great kind of ratio of percentages to reach. And so number 1 for me is nature walks, going out hiking, walking, pretty much go walking every day out in the woods, mountains, wherever I can kind of get away from the world, the hustle and bustle, for anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours. And just like give yourself time to relax in between the day, take it easy. You know, don't be hard on yourself to like have to get this done and this done and this done. Just be sweet to yourself. You know, drink some non-caffeinated tea, some peppermint tea, and just relax. Laugh. I like to laugh a lot, think of really good things. I like to think of the things in my life that are really just awesome. And rather than focus on the things that aren't awesome, just focus on that which is like really good that's happening for you. I also do just some breath work, chanting, meditation in the morning. This just helps to like clear out my energetic pathways, to open me up, to be more expressive, to be more of who I am. I do take a lot of time for myself, alone time. I think that is really essential because there's something about when we are alone with ourselves, we open up even more in a much richer way. We tap into our creative nature. There's less, like when you're just by yourself, there's less self-doubt and self-consciousness. That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, spend some time alone. I sauna a lot, and I understand not everyone has a sauna. The sauna, I just love it, and it makes you sweat, detoxes your system, balances out your like heavy metal levels because you sweat a lot of those metals out. And if you don't have a sauna, you don't have access to a sauna, just find a different way to sweat, right? And lastly, but most importantly, this one's tough. It was tough for me, but sleep. You want to be sleeping anywhere from 6 hours on low end to 8 hours a night. And this was a struggle for me at the beginning of this journey. I had insomnia for like a month. And it happens to me like almost every winter. And I tried so many things. God, I even took Tylenol PM, which I knew was just terrible, but I took it because it worked for a week and then it didn't work. And what it came down to, because I couldn't sleep, I had to go get these THC CBN gummies by Wild, WYLD. And I took those for 2 months and I slept beautifully for 2 months straight every night. And then I stopped taking them and now I can just sleep. It's like it reset my circadian rhythm. So got to find a way to be able to sleep and really rest. I mean, that's the time and the place where your body really does its restoration and healing. And so I'm hoping I haven't left anything out. And if I have left anything out, I'll just post again. But this is the core of my protocol and how I healed in 3 months. And I've had women say to me, like, that's really intimidating. I don't know if I can do that. That's a lot. But again, it was only 3 months. Like, I just kind of worked hard at it in a really relaxed manner and, cleared it in 3 months. And I will tell you one more thing. Here's a little secret I'm going to tell you because this is a vulnerable share, so I might as well share everything. The hardest thing for me was quitting alcohol completely. And it's not like I drink heavily, but there's something that I just love about having like just a drink at the end of the day, sitting on the porch, hanging out with whomever, my lover, my friend. And it's just such an enjoyable, pleasurable experience. And everything I read from other women was like, you can't drink, you can't drink, you can't drink. And I was like, okay, but I did it anyway. I still had one particular drink. I will say what it is. It's an alcoholic kombucha. That's the alcohol that I would drink. And I did drink one. I'm going to just give you an average. I maybe drank 5 a week. 1 at the end of the day. And again, I cleared it in 3 months. Now, I'm not telling you to go drink. Maybe you shouldn't drink for this thing if you really want to clear it. I took a gamble because I like to gamble in a certain sense, not at a casino. So there you have it. Thanks for listening. I hope this helps you and inspires you. And I hope that you heal. And if you have any questions, just ask. I'm always here to help. And yeah, enjoy yourselves.